Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back! Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm the fan flipper of the world. I'm YouTube! Oh my god! Famous now! I was gonna do a second one, but I know I won't make it. The album! Should I try it? Oh yes! Dad! That's right. AF! Rock on! Gold Dust Woman! Beast! Hi, how are you? Welcome to my second drama video of the day today, where I'm going to read some fools. Today, we're going to talk about Trisha Paytas. You know, I really kind of sat on the fence of making this video because, A, I know that so many people are tired of hearing about Trisha Paytas, okay? And B, every time I talk about Trisha Paytas and this religiosity journey, appropriation, as Trisha has now referred to it, whatever, there are so many people that are defending Trisha Paytas in the comment section. They're like, I don't see a problem with this. What's wrong? Like, no, Trisha's not offending people. The amount of people that comment on my Trisha Paytas videos, they're like, what are you talking about? What communities has Trisha Paytas offended? Okay, what that comment, first of all, insinuates is that you are a fan of Trisha Paytas, number one. Number two, how you can be a fan of Trisha Paytas, and I have to only believe this, okay? Either you're a fan of Trisha Paytas and you never leave your house, you never watch the news, you don't know anything about world issues, so you would never realize the communities that Trisha Paytas offends on a regular basis, okay? Or you are somebody that doesn't have a problem with the communities that Trisha Paytas has offended. And that's a problem in itself, okay? So those are people, I think, that are just like, oh, it's just Trish being funny. It's just Trish, she's being funny. We get Trisha. This is Trish just being funny. This isn't something serious, okay? Well, when it's getting to a point where you are offending multiple communities on a regular basis, it is problematic, okay? And the reason why the religion won for me, and I think like, I don't know, it's like, Trisha at this point is talking about so many different world religions, and I think that it's important to say that we're not just talking about YouTube in this moment, okay? We're not just talking about Twitter or the internet or whatever, okay? If Trisha wants to learn about these world religions, that's fine. But what Trisha does is, okay, and even showed it in this TikTok that I'm going to show you, Trisha assumes the identities of these religions. These religions at which people are dying around the world because of supporting or not supporting. There are wars around the world because of these religions. People feel shamed and shunned because of these religions. People feel supported or part of these religions, okay? So, you know, it isn't something that you can just, you know, buy a few things, a little couple knickknacks and say, this is what I am now, and put it out there, right? And so that's a huge issue. Now, I want to show you this TikTok because when somebody sent this to me, I was like, oh my God, like, okay, Trisha. And this is the problem with Trisha Paytas, okay? And this is the problem with Gabby Hanna as well. And this is the problem with several other YouTubers, that they have a mass following, right? And then they say something in a video, a TikTok, a tweet, or whatever, and people that watch it, that don't do any research, they take that and they believe that that is fact, okay? When it is absolutely incorrect, 100%. And that's a problem, okay? A, because it means that Trisha Paytas doesn't take any of this stuff seriously enough to research it themselves, number one. Number two, that you are now getting people to believe things that there is no basis in truth for that whatsoever. And that is problematic, okay? If you want to come out in a video and say, this is the fact, I don't agree with it, that's a difference, that's an opinion, okay? And that's what I do over here. But to come out and say, this is fact, when it is actually infactual, 100%, that is extremely problematic, because then you're going to get people who aren't going to research it themselves that are going to start believing that, okay? But let me show you the TikTok first. Here you go.
Hey, let's talk religion appropriation, if there's even a thing. So in our house, we have Jesus, and he's always in my heart. We have Hand of God that protects our house. We have Buddha, who we give our offerings to each morning. We also have Vinishu and Ganesha, opportunities and responsibilities. So Trish, why do you keep appropriating religions? It's so disrespectful. Well, religion itself can't really be appropriated. In fact, religion by definition welcomes everybody to encourage and explore their traditions, their beliefs, and their higher power. They want everyone to operate at their level or their frequency. In my studies, and I am by no means an expert on all religions, a lot of it has the same beliefs, like mind-blowing. There are certain figures and people in each religion that have helped elevate it to a different way, but all they believe we're kind of under one God, source, energy, universe, whatever you want to believe, or whatever you want to call it. And the crazy thing is God is for everyone. He created all of us, so you can't really appropriate God when God is for everybody. So let go and
Okay, so let me tell you, I have so many issues with this 1 minute TikTok. I don't even know where to begin, okay? But this is where I feel that Trisha Paytas is just stirring up drama for drama's sake, but doesn't really care or believe in a lot of this stuff, okay? I don't really care. Girl, listen, okay? I don't really care that you have a little dinette chest over there where you store all your religious symbols that you pray to on a daily basis, okay? Hey, more power to you if that's what you believe in. But what you're saying in here is problematic. Okay, so let's start first things first. First thing that Trisha Paytas says, okay, is that there is no such thing as a religious appropriation, okay? So I'm like, well, I'm gonna grant Trisha the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna go research this. Now, if Trisha Paytas, instead of, I don't know, laying around on a couch, eating miniature Snicker bars, acting like they're not a vegan anymore, wanting to take 5 minutes out of their day to get on Google like I did, what Trisha Paytas would realize is that religious appropriation is very much a very real thing, okay? In fact, it has been a topic of theology and academic theologians that have discussed and written essays and papers about at Oxford, at Harvard, at Princeton, at Yale for years and years and years. This has been a topic of discussion for about the last 20 plus years, okay? Religious appropriations and the appropriation of religious symbols and culture is a very, very real thing. So for Trisha Paytas to sit in a TikTok for 1 minute and say there is no such thing as a religious appropriation is absolutely, there's no fact to that whatsoever, okay? If you do not believe me, you can go Google it yourself and you will pull up the same articles that I did. And I read many articles, okay? Where they talk about Buddhist appropriation and things like that. And in fact, as I was reading these articles, I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself about, I can't even remember what this person's name is. I feel like it's like Simply something. But anyway, I did some videos about her. Remember I used to talk about her because she was vintage. She always talked about everything being vintage. I can't remember who I'm talking about. But she got in a lot of trouble for religious appropriation like 2 years ago because and so anyway, that was like a huge thing for her, okay? And so I'm reading these articles, and these articles are like well-documented articles, well-researched articles, okay? That some people worked years and years on writing these articles about religious appropriation. But Trisha Paytas gets in a video for 1 minute and says, there's no such thing as a religious appropriation, and people will probably believe that, okay? In fact, I saw a couple comments underneath Trisha's thing that said, you're right, there is no such thing as religious appropriation. That's a problem, okay? That's a problem because, here's the deal. Today we're talking about religion. Today we're talking about religious appropriation. What's it going to be the next thing? What's going to be the next thing, the next community? I mean, Trisha's already offended so many communities. Okay, just read my comment sections of my videos where people are talking about the aftermath of how Trisha has offended communities, okay? If you don't believe me, read the comments in the comment section. So that's the first thing, okay? Then Trisha gets in there with a very, very snarky, sarcastic attitude and starts showing all of their things that they have and the offerings that they make and whatever. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so many of these things that you are saying that you practice are counteractive to other religious actions that you do, okay? And this is where people are like, if Trisha wants to go on a religious journey, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that at all, okay? But the reality is this, if you've ever taken a Religion 101 class and you've studied 5 different world religions, like I have in college because it was required, you know, if you've ever like even, I don't know, turned on the news or whatever anything, what you'll realize very quickly is The religion of Buddhism and the religion of Christianity do not align, okay? They have certain things that cross over, certain belief systems that are singular, right? Like compassion and kindness and things like that. But Buddhism and Christianity cannot really fit in the same sphere, okay? So it is somewhat difficult to say that you believe in all of these different things. And if it was one or two things where you'd say, in our home, we practice this and we practice that, I can understand that, okay? Or I take on this and I take on that, right? My battery died just as I was getting into talking about myself. But if you watch my Peterisms videos and you watch my vlog channel, what you'll know is that I have talked a lot on there about my own spiritual journey. Not a religious journey, a spiritual journey. I do not consider myself a religious person. I consider myself a highly spiritual person, being that I am a person in recovery. And spirituality is something that's very important to us. I also have friends of mine that are in recovery that are very religious people, okay? That go to temple and they go to church and things like that, right? But I do not consider myself a religious person. On my religious journey, though, I did research many religious backgrounds, okay? And I talked about this in my video the other day. I mean, I studied everything from Christianity to Judaism to Kabbalism, which is the mystical form of Judaism, to Native American wisdom, to Buddhism, to Hinduism. I studied all different kinds of things, trying to see, hey, where do I fit in all of this, right? So I understand somebody wanting to do that. And I can even understand you wanting to go to certain temples and see what and experience that for yourself, you know, and going to different churches, because all different churches believe different things, right? And seeing what that is. But then to get on there and say, this is what I believe, and we're practicing all these different things, it's just like, okay, did you even do a Google search? Trisha Paytas gets in at the very end and talks about there is like one God that is over everything. And I'm like, okay, yet again here, Trisha. I mean, you might have a 15-year-old that's watching this that you are educating incorrectly. So let me do ding-a-ling-a-ling, sham-a-lang, dang, ding-dong, ding. How's the drama phone? This is Peter speaking. Oh, hi, Jane. How are you? What? No, I called up 1-800-RELIGION. It's Trisha Paytas' new business. What? Well, Trisha Paytas came out and said that they and Moses are going to buy a new house next year, and that they're also starting 2 new businesses. I think one of them is called Dial a Religion. No, you just pay 99 cents a day, and you just, they tell you what religion you are that day. Today, what am I? I don't know. I haven't called yet. I've been on hold. Very busy. I know. I'm hoping I get Christian today. I was Buddhist yesterday. It was so fun. What? Well, all right. No, I'll see you at the Women's League next week. I love you too. Bye. So anyway, that's kind of what it is to me. It's kind of like Dial a Religion. Like, seriously. So if you watch the end of this TikTok, like I just showed you, Trisha Paytas says in there something to the effect of that there is one God and God created us, and He created us for, you know, whatever, okay? And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. There's what you believe, okay? There's what Trisha Paytas believes right there, okay? So I thought, well, since Trisha Paytas, where's my glasses at? Happy birthday, Lena! Since Trisha Paytas doesn't have 5 minutes of their life to research on the Google different world religions, I thought that I would do the work for them. So let's get in here. So, how many gods are there in Hinduism? The 33 million gods of Hinduism. Why Hindus worship so many gods and goddesses is a real mystery for most people. In the West, the concept of polytheism is nothing more than fantasy or mythology worthy of comic book material. So Hindus, 33 million gods. How many gods are in Buddhism? Buddhists seek to reach a state of nirvana following the path of the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, who went on a quest for enlightenment around the 6th century BC. There is no belief in a personal God. Buddhists believe that nothing is fixed or permanent and that change is always possible. How many gods are there in Islam? All Muslims believe that God is one alone. There is only one God. God has no children, no parents, and no partners. How many gods are there in the world? Throughout recorded history, we can count between 8,000 and 12,000 gods who have been worshipped, but we can only count about 9 different types of gods based on theological characteristics who are worshipped. Each modern god also corresponds to one of these types, and 5 of them are of the Hindu type. I then went in today because I had for some reason forgotten to look up the Wiccan religion, which many people practice in our country, and I looked up to see what Wiccans, how many gods do Wiccans worship, especially since Wicca traditionally honors its 2 supreme deities, deities, the goddess and the god is equal. This impersonal ultimate divinity may also be regarded as the underlying order or organizing principle within the world, similar to religious ideas such as Tao and Atman. Now, I'm sure I'm leaving out part of the 8 to 12,000 world gods and religions out there. I'm just picking ones that I know off the top of my head, okay? I, like Trisha Paytas, do not say that I'm any kind of religious expert. This is all just from Google searching on YouTube, okay? But it's becoming problematic at a point because here's the deal, right? We're talking about religion right now. And I know most of you out there are like, who cares about this, okay? Who cares about the Hare Krishna temple? I got, this entirely 5-page email from somebody that was like, you didn't watch a Trisha Paytas video? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Trisha Paytas went in, they bought the clothes at the gift shop afterwards to take the pictures. Okay, well, let's think about that for a second. Trisha Paytas went into the gift shop at the Hare Krishna temple to come out and take picture in the full garb of a Hare Krishna holding the book, okay? Then put up a picture of a souvenir that they bought at the Hare Krishna gift store, the elephant, and put Hare Krishna followed by a Christmas tree. You don't think this is trolling? Do you live in a cave? I mean, let's just be for real, okay? But here's my issue. I don't really have that big of an issue with this religious stuff. I just don't, okay? I think it is offensive to people out there that take religion very, very seriously, okay? I think it's offensive to people out there that have lost their lives, okay, for the cause of these religions. I think it is offensive out there for the people that are, ostracized on a regular basis, and that we have religious phobia in our country, okay? And I think all these people that have huge, huge issues with world religions, and that we have all this stuff that's going on, and Trisha Paytas just wants to assume all of these different things and put them on a little bookshelf like you put up your Starbucks mugs or your plates and say, hey, look at this is my show and tell. It's not show and tell, and it's not cosplay, okay? It's problematic. And here's my issue, and this is where people are like, Trisha Paytas is so good at circling, and what circling is this, okay? Is that you bring up a topic over here like this, right? And then you say, okay, we need to talk about this. And then as soon as Trisha Paytas, and Gabby Hanna has learned this from Trisha Paytas, as soon as Trisha Paytas is like, I don't want to talk about that because I know I'm not going to win that argument, they go to the next thing. Then it's the next thing. Then it's the next thing. And all of a sudden, you're like, I don't know what to talk about anymore, okay? We have forgotten all of these other issues that Trisha Paytas has brought up in the past that Trisha talked about for a week, or maybe 2, and said, this is a huge issue in my life, okay? And I've got to make all these world changes to it, but then 2 weeks later, we're not talking about it anymore. So here's my concern, right? You're putting out incorrect information about world religions, which most people will be like, who cares? That's like you're putting out, incorrect information about this or that. Okay, well, maybe not to you, it's not an issue, but maybe to somebody out there it is. Maybe this isn't the issue that bothers you, but what if your issue was when Trisha Paytas was talking about things from the past? Okay? Things that people were like, I don't know whether or not this is true. I don't know if Trisha Paytas is really being honest about this. I don't really know what's going on. Trisha Paytas doesn't talk about those things anymore, right? We've now moved on. It's a new issue. What will be the next issue? What will Trisha Paytas be allowed to get in a video or a TikTok and make up stories about and just assume parts of and say this? Or is this just who Trisha Paytas is? Okay, and at that point, I really, to be honest with you, do not understand what is desirable about watching any of that. Like, I just don't. I don't get it, Because it's just to the point of where it's like, and this is where when Trisha Paytas wants to say they've learned and they're an enlightened person and this, when you're an enlightened person, you don't want to hurt people, right? So you get in a video and you don't get snarky and say, there's not this and there's not that and I can do whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. You get in a video and you go say, it's never been my intention to offend anybody. Like, I just really wanted to learn about all of these religions and they're very interesting to me. And, like we went to the Hare Krishna temple and we went to this Buddhist place and, we went to this, restaurant and all of it. And I like it and it's interesting to me and I want to learn more about it. And that's what I'm doing, okay? That's called being genuine. That's called being authentic, okay? It's not called souvenir shopping. Like, what is that, And throwing on an outfit and all of a sudden saying you're enlightened. That's not how it works at all, okay? And I think people are forgetting with all of this, that part of marrying Moses, I thought Trisha said that they were converting to Judaism. So what happened to that? Because I can tell you right now, and I have very, very close friends of mine that are Jewish, okay? I know for a fact that if I called up any of my friends that I didn't even bother them with this foolishness, and I said, I know somebody that is converting to Judaism through marriage, and they'd say, okay, yeah. They're going to classes and things. Okay, yeah. But they're also practicing Islam. They're also practicing Buddhism, and they'd say, no, what? Like, that's not how it works. And I think, like, that's where Trisha Paytas is like, I'm going to make up my own rules. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Then be a spiritual person, but that's not how world religions work. It just isn't. And that's where it's like we're putting out information when there's very serious things that are going on in the world based on world religion. It's not just a joke. It's like a serious, serious thing. You know, I don't know. Turn on the news and see what's going on. It's sad. You know, and it breaks my heart that people don't see through this stuff. And it's like, and I, you know, the thing is, like, I got this comment the other day, and somebody said, how dare you quit telling Trisha Paytas to leave the internet for a period of time. I think people miss when I say that, okay? Do y'all think that I'm telling Trisha Paytas to leave the internet and go get some real help and come back because I'm trying to be mean to Trisha Paytas? Okay, you need to come out of the cave that you live in if that's what you think. The truth of the nature is, I'm telling Trisha Paytas to go take 3 to 6 months off the internet and go get some real help, okay? Unless this is all trolling, all of it, and Trisha Paytas doesn't need any help, go get some real help. Enjoy your life with Moses. Take some trips and come back and say, I'm a different person. The reason why I say that is because Trisha Paytas is ruining their own career. Period. End of story. Okay? Trisha Paytas is going to be, they're not even getting a third of or a fourth of the views that they used to get on the internet. Trisha Paytas will be obsolete 5 years from now. It will be. Unless Trisha Paytas turns their channel over to a new house and this and, you know, the decorating thing, that didn't go well for Trisha Paytas either. Oh, I have these rabbit skin chairs, but I'm a vegan. Like, you guys don't think that's concocted? Like, seriously? Like, one video, I ordered these rabbit skin chairs, okay? 1 week later, I'm a vegan, and people that follow her and support her do not think this is contrived, when this is literally, I mean, this is the roadmap, the blueprint for how to be Trisha Paytas. And Trisha just continues to do it over and over again with different things. What's it going to be next, you know? Then it was the vegan, then it was the miniature Snicker bar. When people are like, oh, but Trisha Paytas had chocolate in the refrigerator, and people commented on it, and Trisha acted like they didn't know that they couldn't have a Snicker bar. That's probably where Trisha got the idea for the Snicker bar, was people commenting about the chocolate in the refrigerator. Then Trisha probably thought, well, this is my way out of the vegan thing. You know, what's it going to be next? We're just days away, weeks away anyway. Trisha has made so many hints about the wedding that the next big thing is going to be the wedding. I just really, really hope that Trisha doesn't clickbait and troll their own wedding and this whole thing that they want. Like, at some point, enjoy your life off the internet. Trisha has more money than they know what to do with, okay? They could downsize and live the rest of their life and probably not ever have to work again. You know, not everything has to be for a video. And it just makes me sad because at this point, it's just like, I don't know. And like, to be honest with you, I feel kind of just like, I feel like as somebody that used to watch Trisha and as somebody that like, you know, really liked their videos, I was like really always hoping that the trolling would stop, but it's not. The only thing that Trisha Paytas knows how to do is troll drama on YouTube, and they'll continue to do it forever. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.